Hey, I'm Morgan Allison. I'm here with our weekly AI Roundtable. Today is October 27th, 2025. So if you're watching this anytime in the future, this is probably going to all be out of date. But what we're going to do is there's been a lot of developments this last week that I want to share with you all. This is so what I have up on the screen is a page from my personal note-taking app, which is Obsidian. Obsidian is what I use for all my note-taking. I absolutely love it. I've tried to get away from Obsidian and use other things, and I just keep coming back because it's just so awesome. So we'll talk about some of the latest developments. Browsers. I started using the Chrome Gemini browser. I think last week we talked about there's a new feature where you can access Chrome Gemini in the Chrome browser, Google Gemini. So I tried it out. I had on my screen, I had I use Google Messages Messenger. Forgot exactly what it's called, but for texts. So all my text messages will come up on my screen on my computer, and I received a text with an image that was an invitation to. So someone texted me this invitation to this event, and so all the information was in this image. And my first impulse was, okay, well, I need to put this in my calendar, type all this into my calendar, and do all this kind of stuff. Like, wait a minute. Clicked Gemini and told it, pull it. So because Gemini is not an agent, it wouldn't have been able to do all the steps of this, but it could do most of it. It said, pull out the information about this event into just plain text. And it did that. It looked at my screen, looked at the image, pulled all the information out of it, plain text. Cool. So now it was just a simple copy and paste into my calendar. So that was really easy. I'm reasonably confident that I could have told the Comet browser, if I was using Comet at the time, I could have told it to take all this, take this information and put it on my calendar for me. And it would have probably taken care of that without any problem. So now I was watching a video on Google Chrome using Gemini, a YouTube video, and I wanted it to, so I clicked on the Gemini button and I asked it to give me a summary. And it made a summary based on the description. And it told me that. This is just based on the description. I was like, well, so I asked it, well, what about the transcript? Why can't you just look at the transcript and give me the key takeaways and all that? It's like, oh, I can't access the transcript. I'm like, you can't what? Comet can access the transcript. A lot of these AIs, these agents can access YouTube transcripts, and so it can summarize, give you the key takeaways, all that kind of stuff without making you watch this long video. It boggles my mind because, YouTube is owned by Google, Chrome is owned by Google, Gemini is owned by Google. You would think that if any AI would be able to get to that information, Gemini could. Gemini was trained, I know this, Gemini was trained on YouTube videos. It was trained on transcripts. So anyway, that was weird. So Comet can do that. Gemini can't for whatever reason. Or, Gemini in the Chrome browser cannot at this point. OpenAI, so that's ChatGPT. They recently released Atlas, which is their agentic browser. So it is basically trying to go head to head with Comet. Comet is still, in my opinion, still the better agentic browser. Basically, in head-to-head competitions, it wins. It does stuff better and faster than Atlas. For now, I mean, it was just released like days ago, so Comet's been around for a couple of months. And Atlas is only on Apple products. It's only on, you can only use it on Macs and iPads, I guess, and stuff like that. I'm not an Apple guy, so I'm not going to use it. It doesn't seem to do, like I said, it doesn't seem to do as well as head-to-head with Comet. However, it may be the thing to use if you are a power user for ChatGPT. There's another difference between the two. The agentic features are only available if you have the paid ChatGPT Pro, $20 a month, whatever, plus level. Whereas Comet, you can use the agentic features for free, but you're just very limited in how many things you can do in a day. So one of the advantages of the Atlas browser over Comet is that because it's ChatGPT, it has all the context from your ChatGPT stuff. So if you're a power ChatGPT user, where you use ChatGPT for everything, and you want to keep all that context and everything, and you use Macs, you use Apple products, then I can see a good case for using the Atlas browser. But for now, it's Comet is my preferred agentic browser. I haven't really experimented with Comet that much. It does do some cool things. I don't really use it for a lot. It's not my primary browser yet. I am still using Google Chrome. I'm a creature of habit. What can I say? So in other news, Google Labs AI Studio just did some updates that make vibe coding really, really awesome. I mean, it is an app killer. It's basically taking over a category because you can instantly build, like with one click, basically build AI apps. So all of the AI tools that are available in the Google ecosphere, you can now make apps. The Google AI Studio Labs is amazing. Here's the thing, though. I don't know that you really need to use the AI Studio Labs apps, because for our purposes, I don't know that that's really necessary. If we have time, I'll loop back to this, but I'll talk about some. I do want to share some, if we have time, get into use cases of vibe coding for residential real estate agents. I did a little bit of playing around with that over the last week. Microsoft had a huge release this week. They updated all kinds of stuff. It's another thing. It just happened a few days ago. I haven't really had a chance to play around with it. They've added agentic AI features to their browser, Edge. I have no idea how good it is. I haven't discovered any feedback about that. They've added a lot of stuff to Copilot, especially team features. So, like, if I don't, it's hard for me to imagine that anybody here is a big like Microsoft Copilot person, but there may be reasons to become a Copilot person, because some of their team-based features that they've added to Copilot are pretty cool. So you can have a team chat with with the AI. So there could be a lot of collaboration with you, your team, and with the AI, all working together, kind of hashing things out. So that could be very interesting. Copilot. So I have here, like, run my computer by voice. Yes, apparently so. Copilot can now, or should be able to, I haven't tried it out, but should be able to basically run your computer completely by voice commands. You should be able to just say, "Hey, Copilot," and Copilot will pop up on your computer. Like after you've, there's probably some opt-in for that. It's probably not like default, but if you're using Windows 11 and you upgrade, put in all the upgrades and you opt in, I'm thinking, again, I don't know. My computer wants to update, which means this update's happened just like, days ago. So it's like brand new. But it can see what's on your screen. It understands your screen. It understands context really well, understands language. So you could just sit back, right? You say, "Hey, Copilot, show me my email," and it'll pull up your email and all this. Big use case in my life is installing it on my parents' computer, because I am the tech support for my parents, and they're always calling me with usually something like there's some pop-up window on their screen and they don't know how to get rid of it. That's the most common problem that they seem to run into. So if they could just say, "Hey, Copilot, get rid of this pop-up for me," and it does it, that would save me a lot of trouble. And, also, "Hey, Copilot, show me my email." I could see that would be a big help for them. All right. So every week when we do this, I think all of this is actionable information, I'm hoping. So I want to provide you nothing but actionable information, but I also want to give you one actionable tip dealing with prompting. So today's prompting tip is called the prompt multiplier. And this is basically getting the AI to help you build better prompts. So what you do is you come up with your prompt, and you put in as your prompt into the computer. You wrap this around here's your prompt that you come up with, and you tell the AI, "I'm trying to get good results using the following prompt. This prompt. Your task is to write a better prompt that is more optimal for text model and would produce better results." So, so it'd be more optimal for ChatGPT 5, or more optimal for Claude, was it Opus 4 or whatever, or Gemini 2.5 Pro, whatever. Give me 3 variations. Okay. So that's just a quick and easy way of getting a few different ideas that you can then look at, and it'll help you improve your prompt. And it's all about the prompt. The better your prompt, the better your output. So I want to give you some prompting tip every week, and that is your prompting tip for this week. Notebook LM has some new updates that are pretty mind-blowing. I'm going to show you. I played around with it a little bit this week when I found out about it, because I was curious about how I might put it to use in preparing for these roundtables, and what kind of cool things we could do. So Notebook LM can. So Notebook LM is a Google AI feature. So this is one of the disadvantages that we have at Keller Williams, unfortunately, is that Notebook LM is blocked for our Keller Williams accounts. So you have free access to Google Gemini, the pro level of Google Gemini, but you can't use Notebook LM. However, you can use it for free. So get on and use a personal account, go to Notebook LM, and this is what I did to take advantage of what I have available for free right now, which is Google Gemini Pro and Notebook LM. What I did was I went into Gemini Pro using Gemini Deep Research. I gave it the prompt. Here's the prompt I gave it. Write a report on the biggest developments within the last week in the world of AI. Simple, short, sweet, and it went out and it pulled together like, you know, I used the deep research. Okay, if you use deep research feature, it goes out and it pulls all kinds of stuff from all kinds of places, pulls it all together, synthesizes, and it gives you like a 20-page report or whatever. So then I took that 20-page report or whatever it was, and I dumped it into Notebook LM, and I clicked the button Video Overview. So, to summarize, and to really knock this home here, I spent a total of like less than a minute of my personal time, right? I went to Gemini Deep Research, gave it a super basic prompt, left it alone to do its thing, did other stuff, came back, dumped it into Notebook LM, clicked one button, and here's what we got. I'm going to show you this. So here's the report. Agentic AI, vertical control in the computer war. A lot of big stuff is happening. When I do this in the future, my prompt is going to be a bit more focused on what we need to talk about in this roundtable. It's not going to be all about the background politics. So there's a lot of politics and stuff going on. But I did the report, dumped the report in there, told it to, clicked on the button. It took a while to make the video. It took like half an hour maybe to make this video, but it made this 7-minute, 41-second video.
A new, much more complicated war is being fought. And it's not for the biggest brain, but for total control of the entire AI ecosystem, from top to bottom. So let me ask you, who do you think is really winning the AI race? You're probably thinking of a specific company, maybe a popular chatbot you've used. But what if I told you the real winners? They're playing a completely different game now. See, the race isn't about model size anymore. That whole battlefield has shifted. We are now deep in an era of vertical integration. This is a fight for control over the entire stack. I'm talking everything from the silicon chips in the data center all the way up to the interface on your screen. So in this explainer, we're going to break down the 4 key fronts of this new AI war. We'll look at the battle for the user interface, the absolutely insane arms race for infrastructure, the high-stakes geopolitical game, and finally the civil war that's brewing inside the industry itself.
Okay. So I'm not going to show this whole video is almost 8 minutes long. I'm not going to show the whole video. I think I can download the video and I'll post it to my YouTube channel. And have a link to it from the video on this if you want to watch the whole thing. It is kind of interesting stuff. But the point is, imagine what you can do with this. You can create this kind of like informational video in how much of your personal time would it take to create this in the kinds of situations where you might want to do this. You want to about the market in the extremely localized market. This neighborhood, what's happening in this particular neighborhood? You can take data from the MLS, dump it into just huge spreadsheet, right? of all the activity in a particular area, dump it into Grok or Claude or something like that, or Gemini, and make sense of this. What are some key takeaways? Make a report about this. Pull local news. Grab all of this stuff. Dump it in here. Explainer video. Boom. You have great content that you can share with people that you don't have to get on the screen. It's doing all the talking for you. It's pretty graphic. It's really cool. So I did this for free, and I did it, and it took me like 30 seconds. So you can really do some amazing things. Now, speaking of Claude, I think I was speaking of Claude. Let's see, did I skip Claude? Yeah, I did. Okay. Data visualization with Claude. So Claude also had a big update recently. Claude is the AI from, shoot, I can't remember their names. Anyway, it's one of the big models there. They have led the field in like enterprise level coding and stuff like that. What they now have in their system is ways to do data visualization. So what I was talking about, like if you take a huge data file of just whatever weird crap you come up with, right? From the MLS, from whatever, dump it into Claude and tell it just like, make sense of this. Explain, and make a visualization of it. It makes great, beautiful data visualizations. And what I mentioned here, you can download SVG file. Put an exclamation point there because I thought that was pretty cool, because SVG is, I forgot what the S stands for, maybe standard, but it's vector graphics. So you're not just taking a screenshot of the pretty graphics image that it gave you. You have an editable graphic file. So you can take that, you can drop it into Canva and tweak the elements a little bit if you wanted to. You could, any kind of drawing program, you can edit the elements and make it even prettier. So the trick is just tell it to create a visualization. So that's how that works. All right, so we do have, we're pretty much out of time. If you're interested in the vibe coding, let me know. We have a couple of minutes. I will just do a quick little thing. I just wanted to tell you about this one little thing here, because to give you some idea of what's possible with vibe coding. So basically, to me, the biggest use case for you guys is making it a lot simpler, faster, easier to use your favorite prompts. I created this app accidentally. So I was recording a video about how to create gems for Gemini, which is customized AIs, right? And in the process of creating the video, I told it to create this gem, and instead it created this app. And the app is actually pretty darn cool. It's a Facebook generator, so what you do is you come and you can tell it what kind of property. You can first time home buyer tip, just listed property, and put in the details, keywords, and whatever. And then you click generate post. And I think it also, let me just see what happens. First time home buyer post, I might could put it just generate post. If I recall correctly, it'll also give you instructions for graphics. Hey, Prairieville future homeowners. typically blah, blah, blah. Here's a big, okay, suggested hashtags. Yeah, okay. AI image generator prompt, cinematic and photorealistic image of a friendly real estate agent, mid-30s, blah, blah, blah. Sunlit kitchen, closing costs. Okay. Gives you all this. It's a copy. Now, so I wanted to tell you two things about this. One is I did this accidentally. I didn't even do this on purpose. Like I said, second, I did this back in the very beginning of July. Things have really improved a lot since then. So if you were to create a new version, you could have it generate the image right there. Then you could copy the image. And if you use some other tools and combined it with this kind of thinking, it could post it for you. If you really wanted to get lazy, I do not recommend you get that lazy. You really should edit it, and you should make sure that everything is the way you want it. But I mean, come on, one click, and you've got text, you've got hashtags, you've got AI image, and let's take a look at what it generates. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go to my favorite. Let's see, fulcrum point, Whisk. Whisk is also a Google product. Sign in with Google. It doesn't like me doing that. Okay, how about the fulcrum point? Okay. Probably wouldn't let me do that again because it's the company account there, so I had to use a personal one. Yeah, next, whatever, resume it. Come on, I'm just trying to get to this. Okay, enter the tool. All right, then I paste that, and I let it cook. And it's going to take like a few seconds. And it's going to give me something amazing, probably. I didn't even read the description. I trust that it's probably going to, I think it was an inviting atmosphere. Yeah, look at this. Okay, yeah, look at this. Okay. So yeah, these are images that you could take and just, let's see, can we get rid of this? Well, anyway, you can download these images. You can refine the images if you want to, you want to do something like watch this. I'm going to refine this image. Put an LSU baseball cap on the agent. Okay. I just, this is something I like to do when I'm messing around. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now she's wearing an LSU cap. So they change things around a little bit, but you see my point. You can really do some just crazy cool things with this. But what I want you to take away from all this vibe coding thing and like coding your own apps is don't think about it as, because I was kind of trapped in this mentality at first. It's like, well, I don't really have any idea for apps to like put out into the world for the public and make millions of dollars or anything like that. No, think about it more as generating apps for you personally to use to make your life easier. So these are like hyper specialized apps for you. Okay. So something that generates, an app, for example, that generates content in your specific style and for your specific needs. It could do some wonderful things. Now, in fact, I was wondering what exactly you could do with something that could make an app. Here's another use case for AI is brainstorming. Brainstorming is something it's extremely good at. I'm a residential, so this is what I sent to Gemini just to see what would happen. I'm a residential real estate agent. I'm curious about what kind of apps I might create using Google AI Studio to help me in my business. Please brainstorm at least 20, 20 ideas. And it's, pretty sycophantic. It's like, that's a fantastic use, blah, blah, blah. You're so smart. But it came up with 20 really good ideas. Property marketing, listing, social media posts, creating video walkthrough script writer. So you just input the features in the order of your walkthrough, and it will output your script that you can use while you're walking through the property. Staging advisor from photos. Input a photo of a cluttered room or empty room, and it'll give you staging advice. It's just, there's so many ideas here. And I didn't spend any time, really. I just was like, just give me some ideas. I didn't, this wasn't a super fine-tuned prompt, so it gave me some really, really good ideas. But that's the point. So think about if there's a prompt that you use all the time, every day, or something that you can automate, some in your process that takes you, even if it takes you like a couple of minutes every day, so it's just a couple of minutes, not a big deal. Well, instead of a couple of minutes, what if it only took you a couple of seconds? And then you do that for several other things that take you only a couple of minutes. Now you're saving a lot of time. So that I think is the big use case for us in this industry. So if you want to hear more about that, if you want some other ideas, we want to talk about some vibe coding specifically, let me know, and we'll tackle that more specifically. And I went way over time, but I get so excited about all this stuff.